Hey guys, it's your girl Corporate Carolyn, and I am stopping by yet again at the end of a work day. And I had another thought for you. At some point, I am going to run out of thoughts to share, but not today. I was thinking about a relative that I have that has never been married, and her kids have gotten married, but she isn't married. And so she's too beautiful of a woman not to be married. And sometimes you look at people and when they want to be married, and I'm not saying that everybody wants to be married, but I know that this person would have liked to have been married. And I think she probably still holds out hope that she will be. But sometimes you look at people and you might, if you were able to, without them tearing your head off, like give some constructive advice on things that they could do differently to find their Mr. Right. Because it's very easy to get into that cycle of thinking that all men are dogs, all men are no good. There's nobody out there. All the good ones have been taken. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes that could be the case. I mean, especially after a certain age, a lot of the people that we were too busy to notice, in our 20s, by the time you circle back and look at that same guy at 35, he's probably already married, with children, which is how a lot of people wind up going on Facebook's, not books, but Facebook, and trying to, revisit, things that are already in the past. So anyway, as I was saying, if you could give some advice, you would say, look, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Are you doing that? I mean, say you want to find somebody different. You want to get a different relationship, have a different experience. But are you going to the same clubs, the same bars, the same restaurants, week after week, just doing the same thing over and over again? This particular person that I'm mentioning goes to the same places over and over again, ad nauseum. And I'm just like, you've seen all of the people there. Why not go somewhere different? If I were out there, and I know a lot of ladies are saying, you're already married, and, you were dating back before there was the internet and before there was Instagram or social media, and all of that is true. But if I were in the dating game now, I tell you what, I'd be out there and I'd be looking my absolute best whenever my foot hit the ground out in the streets. And if for a year I had been going to restaurants A, B, and C, or bars, although I don't drink, and I probably wouldn't go to a bar, because I don't know if you'd meet the best people there. But if that's your thing, because some people have met the loves of their lives in bars, so not knocking it. If that's your thing, check out a different bar, maybe the same bar but in a different city, see if you see something different. Go to a different library, go to a different mall, take a chance, go out to eat by yourself. Have you ever gone out to eat with a magazine and a book and maybe just to see if there's somebody out there that might catch your eye? Have you ever gone, say, to a riverfront where there's a new restaurant and you might just sit, stop in for a drink by yourself, just one, and see if you see anything worthy of you making that a regular thing that you do. Go to the movies by yourself, maybe even take a quick adventure by yourself, ride the train. If you live close to, say, an Amtrak or something, maybe take a day trip, to New York or to somewhere just different. Just see something different. Get out there, mix it up. Be careful, mind you. Even though I do these things, I've gone to Canada by myself. So I'm a person who will take an adventure. I've gone to New York City by myself. I'm careful, of course. I go out to eat, by myself. And before I met my husband, I would go out walking, because all I could afford when I was in college was to buy a magazine. And so I would just walk to the drugstore that was maybe a mile and a half from campus, and I would buy a magazine just to be out and about. Don't just stay in the house all the time. Don't just do the same things thinking that, Mr. Right is going to come and say, knock, knock, knock. Hey, I heard you were stuck in the house all day. I thought I would come by to see. You just don't know who you'll meet. And that's why I'm always encouraging you guys, when you hit the door, and go out, that you're looking your absolute best, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. And the one thing that I know for sure is that your Mr. Right is not hanging out waiting in your house for you to uncover him. He's out in the world as you go out, living your best life, doing all of the things that you enjoy, things that make you happy. He might be at the library. He might be at the grocery store. He might be at church. Like I said, he might be at the bar. He might be he might be at the yacht club. You never know. I like yacht clubs, like the Montauk Yacht Club, or the Newport, the Marina, and the yacht club. I just like to go to places just to see how other people are living. You might hear me mentioning like a Martha's Vineyard, or going to the Hamptons. Do I own a house in the Hamptons? No. But do I know about the Montauk Yacht Club? I surely do, because I've gone and I've seen, how other people are living, just to give yourself a different exposure to something new. When you see something different, you think different, you believe different things about yourself. You realize that scarcity is a myth. When you see how those people are balling and how they're living, you realize that all things really are possible. Sometimes you just need to step out of the environment you're in just to be able to see it. One thing I was surprised about when I was in the Hamptons, I believe it was in Bridgehampton, there's a TJ Maxx. You wouldn't have thought that, right? But you wouldn't know unless you try to do something out of your circles. And there's so many things you can do and still be on a budget, but still, expose yourself to something new. Like hotels that might seem out of your price range with AAA, and picking the right timing, like on a Sunday where the rates sometimes go down, especially in New York. You can find a way to do what you want to do on your budget and open doors that might not have been open to you before. And you notice I mentioned the library. Reading definitely lets you realize that there's more to life than what you're seeing in your everyday experience. I know when I was growing up in the projects of Augusta, Georgia, that books and television helped me to see beyond what I was hearing, where everyone was saying that, all men are no good, men are dogs, like you're not really going to have a happily ever after, don't get your hopes up. I was told that a lot. And the funny thing was my family members, and this is for the guy who said, you were probably raised, the right way, and that's why you have this mindset. I said, you don't know how I was raised. I was raised by people who told me to stop reading so much because it would make you go crazy. And I was like, are they serious? I'm going to read. And because I read, the things that I'm experiencing now, they are possible. But back when I was growing up in the projects of Augusta, Georgia, I didn't know that those things were possible. So all Auntie Carolyn wants to say to you is all things are possible. You don't know who or what is out there until you go, until you do something different, until you broaden your horizons, open up your mind to something different. Because a lot of people are living wonderful lives out here, and it's all because they're out there doing, seeing, pursuing, not scared to try something new or different. Because life is, it's over like this. So don't have any regrets. When you hit 40, 50, or 58 like I am, you will say, I gave it my best shot. I went out there and I tried. And even if it doesn't work out the way that you want it to, at least you gave it your best effort. And that's what I always tell my sons. You don't want to have any regrets. You don't want to say, if I would have, could have, should have. You really want to go for it. So that's what Auntie Carolyn is urging you to do. Go for it. And let me know what happens. I can't wait to hear the good report that you come back with. But in the meantime, since only a few people, like at the grocery store, got to see my shoes, These are the shoes that I'm wearing today. The green matches my dress. I don't know if you can tell. But anyway, and wear some cute shoes when you go out too. Don't be raggedy. Wear something that makes you feel your best so that you'll act, in a way that will attract attention to you because you're worthy of it. But anyway, that's all I have for now. But until the next time, I hope you guys have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.